So the next thing is the cascade connection. So the best suitable parameters for the cascade connection are the ABCD parameters, because the cascade connection is nothing but the output of the first network should be the input to the second network. So which means the output of the second network should connect to the output of the first network should connect to the input of the second network. So like how we can make a cascade connection. So here the best suitable parameters are the ABCD parameters for the cascade connection. So here, if you take these two are the two port networks having ABCD parameters. So here, let me consider these are the TA and TB. Okay, then the voltage and currents for that first two port networks are V1, I1, and similarly the output voltage and output currents are V2A and out I2A. So then for the second network, then the voltage and currents are V1B, I1B, and the output voltage and currents are V2 and I2. Okay. So as we know, before we have already discussed here the Z parameters, the equations for the ABCD parameters are the input current and voltage equations are, we have to write the input current equations in terms of the output voltage and the output current. So suppose if you take the first network, so what is the input current and input voltage, that is V1 and I1. So what is the output voltage and output current, that is V2A and I2A. Then which means we have to write the voltage equation V1 and the current equation I1 in terms of the output voltage V2A and the output current I2A. So that's how we have written here. That is the input voltage and currents are V1, V2, and the output voltage and currents are what is that the V2A and I2A. So here if you see the directions, this is towards the network and this is also towards the network. Okay, so that both the directions are in opposite direction, that is I1 and I2A. So that's why here I have, because here I have considered the direction I1 as a reference, so that's why here the I2A is in reverse direction with respect to the I1. So that's why here I have considered the minus sign, which we have already discussed in the ABCD parameters. Okay, but again I am just reminding you why we have taken this minus sign here. So then if you write this in the matrix form, then you will get like this. So let me consider this is equation number 1 and equation number 2. Then similarly, if you write the voltage, the input voltage and input current equations in terms of the output voltage and output currents for the second network. So here what are the input voltage and input currents for the second network, that is I1B and V1B. And the output voltage and currents are V2 and I2. So see, here I have written the V1B and I1B in terms of the V2 and I2. So that this is the equations for the ABCD parameters of the second network. So let me consider this is equation number 3 and equation number 4. So from the figure you can see, because these two are the cascade connections. Okay, so from the figure if you see, this I2A is equal to I1B, because the output of these first network is the input of the second network. So what is the output voltage of the first network, that is V2A, and what is the input voltage of the second network, V1B. So which means V2A is equal to V1B. But if you see the directions both are in a what is that, of course the voltages are they don't have the directions, but V2A is equal to V1B. So like V2A is equal to V1B. And similarly, the output current of the second network is equal to the input current of the first network, because we have given the output of the first network as a input of the second network. So that's why I2A is equal to I1B, but the both the directions are in opposite way. So that's why here I2A is equal to minus I1B, or I1B is equal to minus I2A. Okay, because here the direction we are taking the I1 direction as a reference. So that's why here I1 and I1B are both in the same direction. So that's why here I1B we can also take it as a positive, but here I2A is in the reverse direction. That's why here I1B is equal to minus I2A. So that's how we can written I1B is equal to minus I2A and V2A is equal to V1B. So just put these I1B and V2A values in equation number 1 and 2. So these are the equation number 1 and 2. So the same equation number 1 and 2 here you can see. So in the place of V2A, so you can replace as a V1B. See here A1 into V2A. So here in the place of V2A, you can replace V1B. This is V1B. So here, so I'm rewriting this equation number 1 and 2 by substituting these values. Then the equation number V1 will become A1 into V1B plus B1 into I1B. And similarly, the equation number I1 is equal to C1 into V1B plus D1 into I1B. So this is equation number V12. So after we have rewritten the equation number 1 and 2 by replacing these values. Okay. So then in a similar way, suppose put the V1B and I1B values. Okay. So where the V1B and I1B values, these are the V1B and I1B values from equation number 3 and 4. See, putting the values of V1B, I1B in this equation, in the V1 and I1 equation. Okay. So in the V1 and I1, see, whatever the things we are going to do here by substituting the some equation 3 and equation 4, these all are from here only, because finally what we have to write the equation number V1 and I1 in terms of V2 and I2, because this is the equivalent what is that network for the cascade connection of these two networks. So that's why finally we are going to write the V1 and I1 equations in terms of V2 and I2 equations. So that's why here this is V1 and I1 equations we have to write in terms of V2 and I2. So that's why we have taken V1 and I1, and we are going to simplify this V1 and I1 by eliminating these I1B, I1, I2B, something like that. So that's why here V1 and I1. So you can you can just substitute in the, these are the equation number 3 and 4. Yeah, this V1 and I1, V1B and I1B. See, substitute this equation number 3 and 4 in the equation number V1. So in the place of V1B, you can substitute A2 V2 minus B2 I2, and in the place of I1B, you can substitute C2 V2 minus D2 I2. So if you substitute here, then your equation will be become like this. Then after simplifying, so your equation is V1 equal to A1 A2 plus B1 C2 into V2 minus A1 B2 plus B1 D2 into I2. So let me consider this is equation number 5. So in a similar way, substitute in this equation, substitute V1B and I1B, okay, in equation I1. Okay, so this is the equation number I1. So in the place of V1B, so you can substitute this equation, and in the place of I1B you can substitute this equation. Then after you get simplified this I1 equation, then you will get I1 is equal to C1 A1 A2 plus D1 C2 into V2 minus C1 B2 plus D1 D2 into I2. So then for the equivalent network, so this is the equivalent network. For the equivalent network, the parameters are, we are considering A, B, C, D, and the input current voltages are V1, I1, and the output current and voltages are I2 and V2. So which means if you write the equations for this equivalent network, what it will be, because here also we have to write these input and input current equation in terms of output voltage and output currents. So in a similar fashion, here I have written this is the input voltage and input current equations in terms of output voltage and output current equations. Okay, so just 1 second, I will come back. Yeah, okay, let me continue. So then you get V1 is equal to A2 into V2 minus B into I2, and I1 is equal to C into V2 minus D into I2. So if you compare these equations, like this equation number 5 and this equation number V1, see here, this is also, there is, this is the, what is the coefficient of V2, this is also V2, and this is also I2, and I2 is here. So then we can, if you compare these two, in the place of A, here it is A1 A2 plus B1 C2, and in the place of B, here it is A1 B2 plus B1 D2. So in a similar way, if you compare the equation number 6 and this I1, so in the C you are having this term, and in the place of D you are having this term. So if you write these two equations in the matrix form like this, then you will get, that is A B C D is equal to, that is A1 A2 plus B1 C2, and A1 B2 plus B1 D2. So similar way this C and D is also. So which means if you want to find the equivalent network parameters, those are the ABCD parameters. If the two networks are connected in cascade, then you have to multiply those two parameters. I mean those two network parameters. That is, these are the parameters of the first network, that is we have considered as a T1, and these are the parameters of the second network that we have considered as a T2. So if you want to find, these are the parameters that we have considered for the equivalent networks of the two cascade connections. So which means, so if you want to find the equivalent network ABCD parameters, then you have to multiply the first network parameters with the second network parameters. That is, T is equal to TA and TB. So here the TA represents the first network ABCD parameters matrix, and TB represents the second network ABCD parameters matrix. So like that, you can find the equivalent network parameters when the two port networks are connected in cascade. So which means if you you can conclude like, if the two networks are connected in series, so which means the Z parameters are best suitable. Then if you want to find the equivalent network parameters of that equivalent circuit, then you have to add the two Z parameters, that is Z equal to ZA plus ZB. So similarly, if the two networks are in parallel, then you have to add these two Y parameters, that is Y is equal to YA plus YB. But if the two parameters are in cascade, then you have to multiply, okay, multiply the both network parameters. Those are the ABCD parameters. So which means T is equal to TA plus TB. So like this, these are the different interconnections of the two port networks. So until now we have discussed the different topics. So these are the different concepts which are present in the fifth unit. So in the next we will discuss some problems. Okay, so before that, let me tell you in an exam point of view. Actually, as I seen the previous question papers, so mostly you will get the theory part only. I mean, theory part is nothing but the derivative part, which means derive the ABCD parameters, or derive the Z parameters, or derive the Y parameters, or what is the relation between Z and Y parameters, or derive the Z parameters from the Y parameters. So like that, you may get mostly 60 to 70% the derivative part only. The remaining 30% you may get the problem. Okay, so the problems from this unit. So those problems I will explain today. Okay, no problem. So these are the different concepts. Okay, so if you get understand the concepts, then you can solve the problems very easily. Okay, so these are the concepts that we have discussed in the two port network. So okay, then let me go for the problem section. uh, Let me wait. So in the third lecture, we are going to discuss about some problems. Okay. So this is the first example. So in this problem, they have given a network, that is the two port network, because this network having the two ports. Okay, one is the first port is represented by 1 1 dash, and the second port is represented by 2 2 dash. So this is a two port network. For this two port network, determine the Y parameters. Okay, so we have to determine the Y parameters. So generally, if you want to determine the Y parameters for this given network, so first you should know the concept about the Y parameters. So how we can find the Y parameters? Okay, from where we can find the Y parameters? I mean, from which equations? Okay, and which from which in Y parameters? Okay, so what are the dependent variables and what are the independent variables? That also you should know. Okay, so in the Y parameters, generally we are going to write the current equation in terms of the voltage, right? Because this is a I1 equal to what is that Y11. So let me here tell you. So these are the Y parameters. Okay, that is Y11 and Y12 and Y21 and Y22. So how you will get the Y parameters? By applying the short circuit in the primary side or in the secondary side, which means in the input side and output side, then you will get the different Y parameters, because that we have already discussed. The same concept we are going to apply here. So here, so let me consider the V1, V2 are the voltages at I11 and sorry 111 and 22. What is that? 11 dash and 22 dash. Okay, so that is the input voltage and the input current, and similarly I1, I2 are the input current and output current. Okay, so first, if you want to find the first two parameters, okay, so those are Y11 and Y21. Then what you have to do? Then you have to apply the short circuit at the secondary side. Okay, if you apply the short circuit at the secondary side, then you will get y11 and y21. Okay, because if you get short circuit, if you apply the short circuit at the secondary terminal, the voltage across this terminal will become 0, that is V2 equal to 0. Then you will get y11 and y21. Okay, so here if you apply short circuit here, then your network will become like this, because here if you apply short circuit, so this is the short circuit. Then what are the equations for y11 and y21? That is I1 by V1 and I2 by V2, which means you have to find I1, I2 and V1. If you know I1, I2 and V1, then you can find y11 and y21. So which means by applying the short circuit, you have to find I1, V1 and I2. So first let me find what is that V1. Okay, so what is V1? Because here this is I1, so I1 by the total equivalent resistance, if you apply, then you will get the V1. So same thing here, I'm going to apply. See, so this is the equivalent network after the V2 gets short circuited. Then here, if you want to find I1, then I1 is equal to V1 by this total equivalent resistance. So the total equivalent resistance is, these two are in parallel, that is 25 into 50 by 25 plus 50. And these parallel connection is in series with this 20 ohms resistor. So that's why here the R equivalent is 20 plus 25 into 50 by 25 plus 50. So which is R equivalent is 36 into 6,667. Okay. Then the I1 is equal to V1 by R equivalent. Then I1 is equal to V1 by R equivalent. That is 36 point something. Okay. Then from this equation, that is y11 is equal to I1 by V1. So in the place of I1, you can substitute V1 by 36.6667. So 36 V1, I mean I1 is V1 by 36.667 by V1, again V1. So here V1 gets cancelled, then you will get 1 by 36.667, that is y11. So 1 by 36.667 is equal to, that is 27.273. So this how you can find the y11. Then after that, what you have to find? Y21. So if you want to find y21, then you have to find I2 equation in terms of V1. Then how to find I2 in terms of V1? Okay, so if you see, this is I2. Okay, so the current flowing through this I2 is, what is that? The current flowing through this 25 ohms resistor is I2. Okay, so if you apply the current division rule, or you can make it, these two are in series. Okay, sorry, these two are in parallel, then you can make it as a equivalent resistance. Okay, the equivalent resistance is, see, if you apply the, what is that, the current division rule. Okay, so the current division rule, I2 is equal to, where is that yeah, I2 is equal to minus I1 by 50 plus 25. So why we have making 50 here is, okay, so what is the current division rule actually? Suppose if you want to get I2 is equal to total current I. Okay, so because here this is the total current I, if we consider this is the total current I. Okay, so I into the R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, R2 by R1 plus R2. So this is, let me consider R2. So R2 by R1 plus R2, that is 50 by 25. Then you can get the I2 voltage, okay, in terms of I1. Okay, so after that, so here Y21 is equal to I2 by V1. Okay, so here I2 is, what is that I2? I2 is 0.6617 into I1. From here we got, okay. Then V1 is, from this equation, V1 is equal to I1 into 36.667. Okay, so from this equation V1 we can replace as a I1 into 36.667. The same thing here we have replaced. Then this I1 gets cancelled. Then you will get minus 18.18 ohms. Okay, that is actually not mho, actually not ohm, because these are the admittance parameters. Okay, those are mhos. Okay, then the remaining two parameters, if you want to find the remaining two parameters, those are the y12 and y22. Then you have to apply the short circuit at the voltage terminal V1. Then the voltage V1 will get 0. Then if you want to find y12, then you have to find I1 in terms of V2, or you can find V2 in terms of I1, whatever it is. Okay, because you need I1 and V2. So similarly, if you want to find y22, you need I2 and V2. So which means here there are three variables, that is I1, V2 and I2. So here in a similar fashion, here what we have done, okay, to get to find y11 and y21, okay, to find I1 we have short circuited and find the R equivalent, then we got I1 is v1 by that R equivalent. So in a similar way, so here also you can find this what is that I2, okay, so I2 is v2 by this R equivalent. So in the here in the R equivalent, so the equivalent resistance is, first these two are in parallel, that is 20 and 50, and then the equivalent resistance is 14.28, and these 14.28 is parallel with this 25 ohms. So this is, sorry, series in with the 25 ohms. Then this series 25 plus this 14.2857, then you will get 39.28, and this 39.28 is parallel with this 40 ohms resistor. Then the equivalent resistance R equivalent is equal to 19.82. Then V2, then I2 is equal to V2 by R equivalent. So then Y22 is equal to I2 by V2. So here I2 is V2 by R equivalent, that is V2 by 19.82. So V2 by 19.82 by V2, then V2 will get cancel. Then here 1 by 19.82 is there, that is equal to 50.464. So this is how we can find V22. Then similarly, if you want to find the admittance V12, so the V12 is equal to I1 by V2. So which means you have to find I1 in terms of V2, or you have to find V2 in terms of I2, whatever it is. Okay. Then here already we got here from here I2, that is the total, what is that here, the I2, this is the current flowing through this here, that is I2 is equal to V2 by is 19.82. Then now here also you have to apply the current division rule, but the current division rule, because here not only two, because here this is one series and this is the second series one and this is the third series connection. Okay, so because this that's why you have to apply the step by step. Okay, so which means that first you have to find the current flowing through this 25 ohms resistor. So if you want to find the current flowing through this 25 ohms resistor, so you have to find the equivalent resistance up to this 25 ohms resistor, which means you have to find the equivalent resistance up to 25, means these 20 and 57 are in the parallel connection. Then after that the resultant is in series with the 25. So like here we have already find. Okay, so because here we have taken what is that 79.28. Okay, so which means again here what it is, the current flowing through the 25 ohms resistor, because this is, if we consider this is a what is that R1 and this is the R2, then R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, so R2 means here this is the total equivalent resistance. Okay, this is R1. Okay, this is R2 is the 40 ohms resistor. So then 40 by this 40 plus the total equivalent resistance up to here. What is the equivalent resistance? See here the 20 and 50, because the up to here we are find the equivalent resistor, which means 20 and 50 are in parallel, then this is the resultant, and this resultant is in series with the 25, then you got 39.28. So the 39.28 plus 40. Okay, then what is that 79.281. Okay, into what is that current I2. Okay, but here current I2 is V2 by 19.82. So that's how here you have substituted. Then the current flowing through the 25 ohms resistor is 0.22542 into V2. Okay, but actually what we have to find, the current flowing through this 20 ohms resistor we have to find. Okay, the current flowing through this 20 ohms resistor. So how we can find here, already we got the current flowing through this 25 ohms resistor. Okay, all the 25 and as well as the 50 ohms resistor. Okay, what is this? That is 0.22542 into V2. Okay, again here it is I2 is there. Then here I1 is equal to, because these both the directions are in opposite direction, so that's why here we have taken the minus sign. Okay, the opposite, that is the R2 is 50 by this 20 into 50 into here the current flowing through this one. Now this one is, what is that, here we have find, that is 25 ohms, that is 0.22545 into V2. So the same equation here we have substituted, then you get the I1, that I1 is equal to minus 0.01818 into V2. Okay, so this is how you can find I1. Then after substituting y12 is equal to I1 by V2, because here you got I1 in terms of V2, then V2 gets cancelled, then you have y12 is equal to minus 18.18 mhos. So like this you can find the different what is that, the admittance parameters. Okay, Then if you write these all are the admittance parameters in a matrix form, then you will get 25, sorry, 27.273 and minus 18, 181.8 and minus 18.18 and 50.454. Okay, so these all values are in MOS. Okay, so like how you can find the different parameters, whatever it is, if you want. So this is how you have to find the different parameters. Okay, so which means here they ask you to find the y parameters, so that's why you have applied the short circuit for the secondary terminal, then you can find the two y parameters. Then after that you have to apply the short circuit for the at the input side, then you can find the other two parameters. So like this you can find the what is that, the uh, y parameters. Okay, so in a similar way, suppose if you want to find the z parameters, okay, for the same network, okay, so what you will do, suppose if you want to find the z parameters for the same network, then what you have to do, so similar fashion. Okay, suppose if you want to find z11 and z21, so if you want to find z11 and z21, so what you have to do, you have to apply the open circuit at the secondary terminal, then you can find the z11 and z12 z21. So and then Z12 and Z22, if you want to find, then you have to apply the open circuit at V2. So which means the I1 will become V1, then the I1 will become 0. Then you can find Z12 and Z22. Okay, so like that you can find. Okay, so that thing we can discuss in the next class. Okay, because before that you need to, because there is another problem. Okay, that is this one. So find the z parameters and the y parameters of this network. Okay, so here the same thing. Okay, like in the y parameters you have to apply the open circuit at the secondary terminal, and after that you have to apply the open circuit at the primary what is that, the input side, then you can find the different parameters, that is z11, z12, z21 and z22. After you get the z parameters, then already we have discussed the relation between z and y parameters, so you can use those equations to find the y parameters from the z parameters. So like how you can find the z and y parameters. Okay, so this is how today's class. Okay, so in the today's class we have discussed about the relation between the different parameter sets, and also the different interconnection of the two port networks, and also we have discussed the basic problem, so how to find what is that z or y parameters from the for a given network. Okay, so then I will give you some exercise problems also, and the same material which I have explained, I will also forward in your group. Okay, so that you can refer, and also I have recorded whatever the content I have delivered to you. Okay, so these videos also I will upload in the YouTube, and I will send you the link, so that if those who are unable to follow, or if some students, those who missed some topics, okay, or those who joined lately, so they can go through these lectures, then you will get understand. So if you have any doubt, so you can contact me through my mobile number. So I think you all of you having my mobile number. Okay, so I will let you know, so what are the exercise problems, and how to send me, and what is the deadline for that, I will post you in your group. Okay, okay, thank you, and have a nice time. I'm going to end this lecture.